Today on Twin Cam, we're doing another brochure video, but this one's a little different and really quite special because we have in front of us an original customer information pack from the UK launch of the Mazda MX-5 in 1990. The Roadster, the Miata, the MX-5, whatever you call it, this little car is responsible for the rebirth of the two-seat sports car in the 1990s, and it founded the dynasty that for many years has been able to call itself the most popular sports car of all time. And there's a very good case to be made in saying that this is also the best sports car of all time. So I've covered up the address of the man in Esher who was sent this originally, but between you and I, his name suggests he's a guitarist in The Who. But more relevantly, the stamp in the corner tells us it was posted to Mr. Townsend on the 21st of March 1990, which is exactly 1 week after the car went on sale. So this is really very early. And inside we have 3 articles to look at. The first is simply a letter from Mazda UK saying, "Thank you for your recent inquiry about the new Mazda range. We have pleasure in enclosing the literature you've requested, and we are pleased to inform you that your local Mazda dealer is located at," etc, etc. But the main attractions are a price list and the brochure itself. Now let's avoid the brochure for now and take a quick peek at the prices, because this is intriguing. Inside we have the 121, which I love, the 323 and 626, commercials, then the MX-5 and RX-7. So an NA MX-5 at this point, only available as a 1.6, would cost you £14,250. And that strikes me as quite expensive, because although it sits on a unique platform, it's only as powerful as a tiny hot hatch. Yet here it is costing the same as a mid-spec 2-litre 626 estate. And if I go extra nerdy and find a Rover price list from the same kind of era, you could get yourself one of the brand new and brilliantly regarded Rover 416 GSIs, or an MG Montego, or for just a little more, a Rover 216 GTI, which is bigger, more powerful, still great to drive, and has more equipment. So buying an MX-5 in the UK was a conscious choice to buy a convertible sports car. It isn't something you just fall into, because this was a relatively premium product, though, as we all know, these were so worth the price. And inside, Mazda clearly understood that reality, because this brochure doesn't go out of its way to impress you with marketing rhetoric. The centrepiece is the car. It does more than Mazda's copywriters ever could, but those guys and girls at Mazda complement it with all that's necessary, because the sports car is back. I don't understand why it's in black, therefore fading into the background, but that's all you need to know. Over the page, it's exciting, exhilarating with its own unique personality, and you could feasibly now add iconic to that. But what's much more interesting is that despite the clear priority given to photography, there are no radical or particularly interesting shots in here. The little Miata is beautiful from every single angle, so a simple quarter shot is all that's needed. It's so clean around the front end with no plate or badges, just the little Mazda decal beneath its eye. And that's what it's about. This is why you're choosing an MX-5 over a hot hatch, because a hot hatch is invariably front drive, so you can't do this. And a hot hatch has all that unnecessary metal over your head. The MX-5 is back to the basics of driving enjoyment. The driver here even has a flat cap on, because 20 years prior, he bought himself a bronze yellow MG Midget and did the same thing on the same road, and now he can do it all over again. The only thing spoiling the parade is the government mandated fog lamp. Curse you, UK regulations. The NA's interior is probably its most criticised feature, but I think it's perfect for the back to basics philosophy. There's no fluff here. It's all purposeful, and everything Mazda notes is driving related. So there are the instruments featuring an actual real-life oil pressure gauge, one of the best gear changes ever fitted to a production car, with pedals that, quote, encourage heel and toe control of the brake and throttle. It pushes every real car enthusiast buttons all at once. And as I mentioned in my full MX-5 video last year, the steering wheel was manufactured by Momo. And if you remove the rubber cover from the centre, it reveals the enamel Momo badge and the bolts through to the boss. Not a single marketing person got their hands on this car. It's just engineers who adore cars in the same way you and I do. Need I say any more? Apparently this page was removed from the brochure when the MX-5 was revised in 1994. The Fun Police clearly didn't approve. But for then and the next 30 years, the MX-5 is the enthusiast's dream realised. This is the first page where we see actual sentences. And as we saw earlier, the sports car is back. The new Mazda MX-5 is all set to become the experience of the 1990s, offering the ultimate in open-top driving, wind in the face and the nimble feel of a taut and eager roadster. Designed with classic looks and superb performance, the MX-5 has already caught the imagination and won the admiration of enthusiasts throughout the world. Its lightweight body, front engine and rear drive configuration provide perfect balance and handling, mixing nostalgia with the modern. It is an opportunity to again discover the pure joy and passion of driving. With its engine situated behind the front axle coupled to rear wheel drive, it has near perfect 50-50 balance, offering the ultimate in road holding, handling and ride. To obtain the ultimate in handling, a number of components have been specially crafted to be as light as possible. For example, the bonnet is made from aluminium and lightweight materials are used for the bumpers. This all means the car weighs only 955 kilograms. I'm only going to exhaust the hyperbole here, but isn't all this, with the cutaway diagram, the finest car brochure you've ever seen? It just makes me smile. And it goes on, because although it uses a modified version of Mazda's existing B-Series 4-cylinder, the platform is all new. At the time, Mazda did have a rear-drive platform in the RX-7, but it would have been a compromise. So with their enthusiast-led approach, they had to start from scratch, and they did it right. Not only do these things have disc brakes and double wishbones all round, but the running gear is all tied to this power plant frame, which encompasses front and rear subframes and braces them together, running parallel to the prop shaft down the centre of the car. Before we get to the end, I'd just like to directly address the styling, because everyone knows the MX-5 is cute, and everyone knows it's nicked from the Lotus Elan. But despite harking back to a car from 1962, it never looked like a pastiche. It never looked as though it was an exercise in retro styling, the kind we'd see later on from European manufacturers. Instead, it's shockingly organic and fresh considering the kind of cars it shared the road with in the early years. Just like they did with the Mini Light style alloy wheels, they took inspiration from a 60s source, but transformed it into something truly unique and rather timeless. So with that, we have the specs on the back. If you'd like to read any of this, then simply pause the video. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please do click like and subscribe to TwinCam as well. I'm forever indebted to my wonderful Patreon supporters, so if you'd like to support me that way, then please do follow the link in the description. And I'll have more videos coming along soon.